welcome back my subscribers. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I art critique my own illustrations. This is just from my opinions and my perspective, so take what I say with a grain of salt. It's not the law. To start off with, back in 2018, what I had used to do was experiment very heavily with the paintbrush-like textures, or in this case, digital paintbrush textures, where I wanted something that was smooth like a butter so that I could have a very nice, smooth, painterly yet cel-shaded blend together. In the get-go, this was nice because I was able to flesh out not only characters but backgrounds as well. However, over time, some of the things that I hadn't focused on so much was backgrounds. I ended up just going straight for character design because I wanted to focus on clothes, because at the time, that was my weakest point, was clothing. And backgrounds are still my weakest point, but with characters, I was able to focus not only on them, but the shading and the stylizations and colors that I had chosen. Over time, I was feeling happy and proud in the moment when I was making them. However, the illustrations that I made lacked line weight variance, and when I did go and kind of like hinder myself with the shading colors, it would depend on the environment that I was trying to draw, whether that was natural shades of browns or vibrant reds. It kind of depended on what I was making. Take this, for example. This was a combination of traditional and digital illustration. This one was a more relaxed drawing that I made, that I didn't feel as stressed, versus this one, I felt so stressed when I had created this because I just wasn't figuring out why I couldn't make it as close to a lineless style as possible and tried to get that cel-shaded solid feeling, and it ended up turning, in my opinion, muddy. Another illustration where I think it turned out a little muddy was this one. I tried to create a balance of light to dark coming in from the left to the top right of the illustration to give depth and dimension, but it lacked because of some character line art, and there was no variation. This is an example of a variation of it. I took away the line art for the magma that I had created, but I left the lines for the character to make the character and the magma separate and stand out. Another way you can tell with the line art is when you're creating the illustrations and you want to paint underneath them, make the line art either really thin or really bold, and it can make a difference. I took away some of the line art for the blood in that one, and it stood out much more. Another example that I had learned was changing the color of my line art. If I didn't change the kind of like weight of it, if I didn't want it to go from thick to thin, I would change the color of it to make it stand out even more. And this helped with some dynamic characters that needed some extra pop besides the colors of their fur without clashing so much. I hope that some of these kind of like self-critiquing visual examples helped anybody out there that might be struggling, whether it's character designs or backgrounds. This video was kind of mostly for character design over the process of the 3 years that I have been working on it. If you would like me to make another video on something that I didn't cover in this video, feel free to let me know in the comments section down below. And for behind the scenes, check out my Patreon. And if you're not already part of that subscriber squad, be sure to put your paws to that subscribe button for weekly content. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, subscribers. Stay pawsome. Bye!